Okay, so moving on to the switch statement. Now, the switch statement provides an alternative syntax that is easier to read and write. Here is the source code for creating a switch statement. I'm going to give you an example for you to understand how this switch statement works. Now, let's imagine that we are you're a salesperson and you work in a grocery store. This grocery store sells all kinds of provisions like tomatoes, mangoes, toothpaste, biscuits, anything that is added in a provision store, eggs, anything item that is part of a grocery item. Now, you are there attending to customers. Now, a customer comes over to your desk and asks you, "Excuse me, sir, please, how much do you sell tomatoes?" Now, the grocery item is the condition. The case item is the item you're selling. You own a grocery store. The grocery item is the condition. Now, the case item is the stuffs that you sell. Now, the person comes over and says, "Please, how much do you sell tomatoes?" You say, "Oh, tomatoes are sold at maybe 40 naira. That tomatoes, we sell it at 40 naira." You say, "Oh," the person will tell you, "Oh, thank you very much." Now, if the person asks you that, "How much do you sell mango?" You say, "Oh, mangoes are sold at 20 naira for one." You say, "Okay, thank you." Now, the case items, the case is where the items that are sold are. That is, if it is tomatoes, then this code will run. The price will appear. Now, the break over here, this break keyword is very, very important in switch statement. Without it, the switch statement will be nothing but futile. Why are we saying this? The break keyword, without it, the first matching case, being this tomato, the first matching case will run. That is, the price of the tomatoes will appear. Now, not only will the case one appear, as not only will the price of tomatoes appear, but the price of mango, toothpaste, biscuits, and even the default that says there's nothing that you want to buy, all of them will appear because the break keyword is not added. So this break keyword is very, very important, because without it, it would be as though when the customer asks you, "Oh, excuse me, sir," or "Excuse me, ma'am, please, how much do you sell tomatoes?" You say, "Oh, we sell tomatoes at 40 naira. We also sell mangoes at 20 naira. We sell toothpaste at 10 naira. We sell biscuit." The person will say, No, I'm sorry. I asked you how much you sell tomatoes." Now, that is exactly what will happen without the break keyword in the switch statement. So it's very, very important to add it. And this behavior, as you know, it's a bit different from the if-else conditional statement because it executes only one block of code. Unlike this if-else statement, as we know it already, if the color, like that stoplight, if the stoplight is yellow, the code that is equal to true, that yes, it's yellow, is the one that will run. Now, if it happens that if it's not yellow, no other code will run. It will tell you that, "I'm sorry, caution unknown." But that is not the case for switch statement. Switch statement needs that break keyword for it to be able to execute only one block of code. That is the case that matches it. So I'm going to show you using the Google Console how to implement this, and this will help you to know how the switch statement works. Like I said, it's an alternative syntax that is easy to read and write. So you can open your Google Console now and follow along as we continue in the exercise of the switch statement. Okay, so here we are in the Google console and we are going to declare a variable, and we are going to say we're going to name the variable to be food, foodstuffs. Okay, it's even more foodstuffs. Now let foodstuffs equals to, let it be equal to, let's say mangoes. Now let's say that your customer came all the whole way to your shop to buy mangoes, and now we are going to use the switch statement to help us out with finding the price of the foodstuffs. Now the foodstuff, now there's something that I'd like us to take note of. The switch statement takes a condition, and as we've noticed, the case doesn't take condition, so the condition is taken only once. That is the foodstuffs, that is the condition. It takes it only once, unlike the else if statement that also takes a condition. The switch statement only takes a condition once, and once is that we want to buy foodstuffs, so we go over to the shop which we own. The customer comes over to our shop and says, oh, I want to buy mangoes. We say, okay, hang on a sec. We are now going to write the first one being case. Now case is tomatoes. Then we add semicolon. When we add a semicolon, we are saying that if it is tomatoes, the console.log should return the result of the price, being that tomatoes are, okay, let's use this price, $40. That's the price of tomatoes. Okay, then shift and enter key to add a new space. We add the break. Remember what I said, the break is very important to add. Now this is the end of the first case. If the price is tomatoes, that is the price that will come out. If it's tomatoes that you want to buy, that is the price that will come out. Now if it is not tomatoes, maybe you want to buy something like let's say mangoes, semicolon, and then we add the console.log. Let's write it. Console.log should be that mangoes are $20 or 20 naira, whichever currency it is that you prefer. Okay, and now we add a break. We need to add break for each case we make, more like a lawyer's case. So for each case we make, we need to add a break. Now shift and enter. The case now is, let's say, biscuits, semicolon. Now if they are biscuits, the price that should appear is, what should be written is that the price of the biscuits are $10. Then we add the break keyword. Now let's say that these are all the things that you sell in your shop: tomatoes, mangoes, biscuits. That's all. You are done with writing what you sell. You don't just end it there. Now let's say the person came all the way and said, oh, please, do you sell a cup? No, we don't sell cups. What we sell are foodstuffs. Now already you don't have any price for it. Now the code does not know that you don't have a price for it, but you have to tell it that there is no price for it. How you do that is to write, after the break, you add the default. You add default, and then you add the console.log. If by default there is nothing that you have in the shop that the person wants to buy, you say sorry, invalid item. You see it. If you came all the way to buy something, or what you came to buy is not part of what we sell, sorry, it's invalid item. We do not sell it. So when we remember, your customer came all the way to buy mangoes, so out of all the whole cases and plus the default, when we click enter, the results are that mangoes are $20. And why it showed mangoes is because your customer came all the way to buy mangoes. He didn't come all the way to buy tomatoes. If what he came to buy were tomatoes, it would be that the tomatoes are $40. That is what would appear. Now if it were biscuits, the price will appear. Now if it happens that if nothing that you sell, maybe it's not tomatoes that you came to buy, it's not mango, it's not biscuits, default will say, oh, sorry, invalid item. And that way you've already solved the switch statement. So you've seen how the if statement works. You've seen how the if else statement works. You've also seen how the else if statement works. And finally, the switch statement. The question now is that if the switch statement provides an alternative syntax that is easier to read and write, because the way it is, it makes it all easy to understand. We get the logic. Your customer came to buy mangoes, and so the one of mangoes, the prices are what are supposed to appear. Now, the question now is, using the switch statement, is it better to use the switch statement, or it's better to use the else if statement? Is it the switch statement that is better to use, or the else if statement? Whichever it is that you think, you can just write it down below in the comment section to show if it's the switch statement, because some developers say that, oh, it's best to use the traditional way of writing else if statement. Now if it happens that the switch statement is better, you can write it. If you prefer that it's the traditional else if statement, you can also write it down in the comment section below. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you really want to learn more about JavaScript, especially if you're a beginner, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that when the next JavaScript lesson comes up, you'll be notified. And also please make sure to give a thumbs up, like the video. So I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll be dealing about another aspect in JavaScript. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Bye.